You on Zoom, come on in. We're about to start with our special guest today, none other than the incomparable Michelle Simpson. Today, in a few minutes, we're going to be talking about the challenges that parents and children face during this current crisis. But before that, we're going to do a little housekeeping, and we have a few things that we are going to be sharing with you that some people have sent to us that we want to make sure that you can get this as well. So first we have by Annie Roof, an artist. She sent us some pictures and prints that you can have for your own collection, and they have this print as well. This is going to be amazing for you. They look really good when you put them in a little frame. You can put them on your tables, but she wants us to know that she has it, and we're going to put that in the chat. It's going to be put in there. If you're on Zoom, it's already in the chat. So if you're not on Zoom, it's going to be on the in the Facebook. We're going to put it on Facebook, the information for you there. Also, we have a new and upcoming artist, and her name is Jennifer Hill, and she wrote a book that she sent in for us called Anywhere But Here. And if you would like to get a copy of this amazing book of poetry, the poetry is so motivating and inspiring and encouraging, then I suggest that you hook up with her on Facebook. And we also put her information in there as well. And that is going to be amazing for you. Also, at the end of this program, some people have given their cash apps last week, and we always love to be a blessing to someone else. So on their cash app, you send in your cash app at the end of this program. We're going to be choosing two $25 winners for a cash app. One is for those who were the cooking segment last week. And those who were there, we have you in a separate pile, and we're going to choose a cash app from those persons that helped us to cook last week. And also, we have those who just dropped their cash app in, and we're going to have that as well. But without further ado, because we want to give her the benefit of all that we have, we want to give it over to Michelle Simpson, the founder and president of Motivating Minds, and also the founder and president of the historic Inspiring Minds Youth Development Center. So, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Miriam Hope. And you all, let's give it right back to her. Without Miriam, a lot of these platforms would not exist. So I am, first of all, grateful to you and honored that you are asking me to just come on and share. Hello, everyone. So glad to see and not see you. For those who are on Facebook, I can't see you, but for those who are on the Zoom, I do see your name. So thank you for joining us. So just to give you a quick briefing, I don't have any infants in my house. I don't have any 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds. Some of you may. All of my kids are what we call grown and gone. We are in that baby boomer generation where we had them, we nurtured them, and whoop, bye-bye, they're out. I'm honored to say that not only are they grown and gone, but they're grown and gone and they're doing very well. But in the midst of us, my husband and I, raising our children, there were so many challenges and things that we face that we didn't have the blueprint for, you all. Nobody gave us the handbook. They didn't tell us this is how it needed to be done. And I am sure, like some of you, you are in that boat and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do this as a parent? So I'm just here to share some life skills, some things that I've already been through with you. And the first thing I want to share with you, we're in COVID-19. You have been home with those kids that the teachers usually have, or someone else has been the caretaker for most of your day. But I just want to share with you just a few nuggets. And I want to start with basically encouraging you to be totally 100% intentional about the quality time that you spend with your kids, with your family, and with yourself. And I said quality time, not quantity time, because we can take 1 minute and make it feel like a whole week if we are investing in giving it and doing it the correct way. So let's start with a schedule. Many times we just go about our day. We're just busy, 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 busy. Life happens. We all know we work, we do church, we do everything that we do. Some of us do 4, 5, 6, and 7 things, but there's no order. We just do stuff. First of all, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Are you doing what you were called to do? Are you doing your purpose? Or are you just doing stuff because somebody said that's what you needed to do? Or as a parent with an infant, I was hoping to see Tamara because she has that infant, and then she has this motivating, high level energy son by the name of Ethan, who you just can't ignore. So for parents who have a range and a variety of kids, the first thing I want to recommend for you is that you get organized. You have to have a plan. You have to have some structure, and you need a schedule. So I'm going to share with you, I don't have any little people that I gave birth to, but I do have a very special little person in my life, Skylar Brielle, 7 years old as of last week, who is our granddaughter. So Skylar is helping me to stay relevant in the vein of what you parents may be going through. So when Skylar comes to my house, you all see this dry erase board back here? All right, I'm 58 years old. Y'all, I don't have that energy, and that's why you all hear people say, you know, the young people are supposed to have the children. My mother used to tell us the same thing we telling y'all, and I didn't get it, y'all. I did not understand what she meant. I know now, because at 58, I don't have as much energy. I don't have the vibrancy. I want to chill out. I want to relax. I want to settle, and I want some me time. So when Skylar comes, the first thing we do is this. Hey, Skylar, welcome. What's our weekend going to look like? What is our plan for the weekend? Why do I do that? Why is that important? Because I could easily just bring Skylar in and just ask her, what you want to do? You know what she's going to say? I just want to be on my video. I want to be on my phone. I just want to chat with my friends. Boom. Not happening. Number one, you have given birth to the future. And your job now is to invest in the future that you have given birth to. How do you make that investment? By planning intentionally to give them your quality time. So let's start with waking up in the morning. Your kids are in the bed, they wake up. How do they wake up? Are you present? Do they see your face? Do they hear your voice? Are you greeting them good morning? Or are you get up out that bed? Come on. You know you got to go to school. You know you got to get your shoes on. You didn't get your clothes out last night. Da, 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 da. You know how it is, y'all. I've been there and done that. I know, because we didn't plan the night before. Think about the child. Just hold space for them. How does this sound differently? Good morning. How are you? Now you have scheduled to take 5 minutes to just welcome them into a new day. How did you sleep last night? But the first thing we're going to do is say, thank you, Lord, for waking us up. You know what, Skylar? I'm so glad you woke up this morning. I am so glad that I get an opportunity to share another day with you. Then I'm going to ask her, how did you sleep? Did you sleep real good? Did you have a dream? Was it a good dream? Was it a bad dream? We'll lay on the bed together. We'll relax, and we will begin to bond. We are cuddling. I am investing my moments and my time in the first moments of her day. She feels valued, she feels important, and she feels that y'all got time out to just ask me how I'm doing. So now we've welcomed her in her day. Secondly, that's the premise before doing a schedule. So let's talk about that schedule. It doesn't matter who's in your family, how your family looks, 4, 5, 6, 10, 20, or 2. Choose a day. Weekend, weekday, it doesn't matter, whatever works for you. What is your quality plan for your day, your week, and your month? Prioritize your schedule. What is necessary that has to be done? You have to wake up, you have to get dressed, you have to eat. These things might sound real simple, but you know, they say without a vision, people perish. If you don't have a plan, you're going to plan to fail, and your life will just be all over the place. So what's priority? And you have to list those things. I have to wake up, I have to get dressed, I have to eat, I have to brush my teeth, I have to blah, blah. So whatever it is that you have to do. Then secondly, what are your desires? What do you desire to do in this day? What's necessary and what's desired, okay? When you do this schedule, get around the table, get in the middle of the floor, bring those kids. Stop thinking that the kids don't have a buy-in and don't have an input. The only reason they don't have buy-in and input is because you don't invite them to the table. You don't invite them to share. I always have this saying, and my students did a project on this, and the topic was you don't have an answer from your kids because you never ask them the question. Any question. The question is anything that you need to ask them. And then when they get in trouble, when they do something like, why did you do that? Well, had you asked them some questions prior, you might have known why their mindset is like it is and why they may have done some things. So when you get all the kids to the table from that infant, so I'm going to use Tamara because I know she just had a brand new baby, and I'm going to use Ethan. So the infant gets to be put on this schedule. Ethan gets to be put on this schedule. If you have kids, depending on their ages, everybody gets a job. I need a recorder. Somebody needs to write on this dry erase board. You can't see that real well, but that's Skylar's handwriting. She has dry erase markers, and this is her board. And when she comes, she has to write the schedule. She's 7. So now we're practicing her writing skills, her reading skills. You're giving them an opportunity to feel valued and valuable in the skills that they already have developed and what they can do. So how do we get these things on the board? Okay, Ethan, today is Monday. What would you like to have for breakfast this morning? You might have planned to make some cereal, but Ethan said he wants pancakes, bacon, some sausage, and some eggs. All right, let him write it on the board, even if you don't do that. You can alter it psychologically later, parents. But the point is include everybody in your plan. Give them a job, make them feel valuable, make them feel a part of the family, make them feel important. The next thing you have to do is prioritize what you have to do on that schedule. Okay, we're waking up at this time, we're getting dressed at this time, and you're going to set times to those things that you have to do. And in those times, you're dressing, eating, devotions, self-care, exercise. If they have dance rehearsal, when are you doing your budget? It's the day-to-day we're paying bills. It's the day-to-day we're doing a budget. So if that's the case, it needs to be on your schedule so that when Ethan wants to go play in the pool at 5 o'clock, you know you have down there to do the budget at 5. So now we have to reprioritize and rearrange when Ethan is going to get in the pool. On your schedule, put your desires. What are your pleasures? Are we going to the movies? Are we going on a field trip? Are we just going to make pizza together? What are we doing? How do you know what you're doing? You're going to ask your kids their opinion. You're going to ask them what they want. You're going to get an investment for them because they are your household. You're going to plan that dinner menu together. And we want, today you are what you eat. So you want to feed their brains. Kids will eat sugar, Pop-Tarts, Takis all day long if you let them. So first you have to remember, you brought these people into the world. The moment they lay eyes on you, it is your responsibility to begin to invest in them and to direct them. They are an empty vessel, and they do not have holes in them. They are waiting for you to direct them and to focus them and to feed them and to pour in them what they're able and unable to do. They want a path. They need some boundaries, okay? But the most important thing they need is to have a development and a pure understanding as to who they are. Why are they here? What were they called to do? What is their purpose? Why does Ethan like to play in the kitchen? Why does he like cooking food? He may own a restaurant in his future. He may be the CEO of a chain of restaurants. Yes, he's a boy. Then we got those stereotypes. Don't stereotype your kids. Let Ethan play in the kitchen. Back in our day, it would have been, boy, don't give him no kitchen. Get him out of the kitchen. He's a boy. Give him a truck. But the children that you all are giving birth to today are not like the ones. We didn't even open our eyes when we were born in 1962. Y'all's children are looking at you and they're saying, all right, here I am. What you got? What are you coming with? What are you going to give me that I can move forward in my life with? So my point in all of that, whatever interest, whatever you see your children, whatever their interests are, feed that. Feed into it. Build it. Uplift it, encourage it. And if it's something that needs to be altered, then you know how to subtly distract and distray them from that, okay? So on your schedule, you need self-care, you need family time, you need no social media time. This time from 6 to 7 or 6 to 6:30 or 6 to 6:15, no phones, no iPads, no social media. We're going to sit around the table and we're going to have eye contact. We're going to get to know who we are in this family. We're going to talk to one another. Ethan, what hurt you today? So, did something bother you? Okay. I don't know who Carrie is, but Carrie, you've been watching the news. You're in high school. Did you see something on the news that disturbed you or that you don't understand? Do you all realize that tomorrow is a holiday? What would you all like to do for our holiday as a family? So we're now engaged in conversation. You're engaging in their feelings. You're engaging in their emotions. You need to know who they are. Who do you have among you? We have to stop bringing kids in the world and then sending them out to raise themselves, letting them go. Oh, that's what they like to do. But what are they doing? Do you know what they're doing? Okay. I call it eyeball eating. Eyeball eating. Because you're going to do one or two things at the table. You're just going to sit and eat and not say anything, or you're going to sit, eat, and we're going to have a conversation. And you can engage that. Go on family walks. Invite the kids to talk about family home improvements. The doorknob could be off in the bathroom, and it's not the bathroom you use. You don't know that the doorknob is off. It's the kids' bathroom. So if they come to you and say, hey, the doorknob is broke, don't holler and scream. What you mean the doorknob is broke? What? Don't fuss, go see that about the doorknob. But before you see about the doorknob, wow, that was a great observation, Ethan. Thank you for paying attention to that. And thank you for letting me know. So now we're dealing with work skills. You go to work, something is broke, you don't report it, it'll stay broke. So they're learning that their voice matters. You trust them with the information that you bring to them. And as you trust them, you're able to direct, lead, and guide them and alter how they present information. But you don't shoot them down. You don't kill them. You don't tell them, Ethan, you're just 3 years old. What you know about a doorknob? Look, that's my business. That's not your business. Build up and encourage them. Hi, Ethan. Thank you for showing your face. Okay. Do your kids know how much money they are able to spend on the weekend? Or do they spend whatever they ask for? Do they know what your budget is? This might not be the week that I have on my budget to go to McDonald's and get 6 kids meals and then take your friends to the movies. So when we're doing our schedule, all right, this is not the weekend where we have the extra in the budget. That's for next weekend. So next weekend, what are we doing? Are we going to paint pottery? Are we going to a museum? Are we going kayaking? Are we learning something new? What are you exposing your kids to? We're all here in Virginia, maybe, maybe not, but when have you taken them beyond their boundaries? When have you given them something to see that is not their norm? Your students, your kids, your family members will be able to make choices in their future based on what they see right now. I told you I don't have any kids at home. And they had the nerve when they graduated from college to not even come back to Virginia. Isn't that something? There's one in Texas, one in Chicago. There is one down the street, but they don't tell me how long she's going to be down here. The point is they were exposed. We took them out of Virginia. We took them, and when we couldn't afford to go out of Virginia, we went to Virginia Beach. We went to Luray Caverns. Well, they didn't make it to Luray Caverns when they were little. We went to, but Luray Caverns is an option. Richmond, the museums, a farmer's market, the fair. There's a lot of free stuff you can do. But my motto is if you invest, how much of those Nike Jordans, Nikes, $120 and some tennis shoes on their feet that they're going to outgrow and you're going to end up giving to somebody anyway? Why not put that $120 in your vacation fund or take my child on the field trip fund and invest it in their minds, invest it in their future? Why not put them on the Amtrak train, take them to New York so they can see the Big Apple? So now when Ethan is cooking in the kitchen, he has eaten at a restaurant in New York. He's like, you know what? We had pizza in New York one time and it did not taste like the pizza in Virginia. I want to go back to New York to that restaurant. Now he's owning the chain of restaurants in New York because he had an experience there. But more importantly, and I'm back on the budget, can they spend what they're asking for? And in your head, they can't spend nothing because they didn't earn it. So let's jump on that part. They're not earning the money. So have you explained to them why you are working? You know what we do? We go to work, we come home, we exhausted, we tired. Oh my God, look, sit over there, get your iPad. I got this report to do. I got a Zoom call. I got 6, 7 Zoom calls today. Listen, you need to understand, mommy is working. I'm doing this for you. They don't need to understand that. They need to understand the process of why you're doing what you're doing so it can then relate to their future. They understand it by you talking to them, not talking at them, not pushing them aside, not giving them the iPad, not putting them on their phone, not sending them to their room, not giving them somebody else to be in front of. So have you sat down and had the talk? Well, I really have to work. Let me just use myself. I was a corporate manager with 3 children, and guess what my husband was? Working for his family, but he was all the way in Iceland. So I had 3 kids and a very demanding job, and I had to work nights. So do you think my kids really understood why I was never home at 3 and 4 and 5 years old? They didn't understand that. I had to explain it to them. And I made the mistake of not explaining it to them at that age. That's why I'm encouraging you to do it. Don't take them for granted. When you are not present, because you are helping them to survive, you are putting a roof over their head, you are putting food, you are planning for their future. Let them know that's why. You know what? Mommy's gone a lot, but this is the reason I'm gone a lot. But when I'm home, I'm going to give you your quality time. This is your lap time. This is when you can sit on my lap and I can embrace you. My 35-year-old daughter, Dr. Carnay Simpson, comes home and the first thing she says, Mommy, I just want to sit on your lap, because she remembers that hold and that feel and that bond. So you have to give them the quality of understanding why you do what you do. Don't assume they know, y'all. How are they going to know? They just know you're not present. They don't understand work and economies and mortgages, and you don't work, you don't eat. They don't get that. But it is okay that you talk to them about the budget and talk to them about what they can and cannot have. Okay? What do you have in place that you do on purpose? Do you have family chit chats? Now you chit chat with your girlfriends, and you chit chat on Facebook, and you like the post, but are you talking to your children? Ethan is 344, but I bet you if Tamara asked Ethan, what do you know about George Floyd? He might not be able to articulate who he is, but he has seen something. And the problem with us is we don't know what our kids are looking at. We don't know what's entering into their eye gates because we're not with them every day, all day. They are seeing, they are hearing, they are being emotionally affected by the world that we live in. As much as we want to protect them, as much as we want their innocence to be coddled, we can't protect them from all things. I had a conversation with some of my students the other day, y'all, and they taught me something I had no clue about. The new system of what they go through now in middle school. And we have to stop treating them like they're in middle school in the 70s and the 80s. It's a new day. Ask them, what do they face in school? When I was in school, I promise you I didn't have to worry about marijuana falling out of the locker if my locker neighbor opened it. I didn't have to worry about being threatened by a gun. That's what your kids are dealing with. How do they feel about that? Are they afraid? And if they are afraid, how are you holding support for them? What are you saying to them? You got to go to school anyway. You better just get over it. You better suck it up because you got to get an education. Wrong. EI. You have to be emotionally intelligent enough to carry them through this process because they have to make it through. All right? So hold space, but hold space in their face. Face to face, eyeball to eyeball. When Skylar and I sit down and talk, I'm like this. Hey, Skylar, it's talk time. What are you going to talk about today? I'm looking her in her eye. That is confirming her. That is assuring her. That is resecuring her. That is giving her the power to know that her voice matters and somebody is listening to her. I don't have all the answers. I'm not even her mother. But I am giving her my heart. I am giving her my attentive listening ear, because what I know for sure is that as she grows in this life, she's going to have the balance of knowing how to be heard and knowing how to use her voice. And it can't be with her fist. It can't be with hollering and screaming. And in order for her to get those skill sets, there has to be a foundation. And in my closing, listen to your kids very carefully. Don't forget what you are developing. They didn't ask to be here. Y'all know we say that all the time. They ain't asked to be here. And how many times have you said, oh, your kids will say something comical or funny, you be like, I don't know who that child is. I just can't with them. They said A, B, C, D. What? I didn't even know that was in them because you haven't paid attention enough to know who they are. And they evolve and they're growing and they're evolving every day. So you're developing a creative mind. Your job is to nurture that mind and nurture the gift. If they're painting on the wall, why don't you just go to Lowe's? Which one? Yeah, Lowe's, and get the chalkboard paint and paint a square on the wall and let them paint all they want to. Because you don't know what that painting might turn into. Our son is an architect. He chose an art class at Phoebus High School to get out of school. And I was that mama that went to school and picked out the classes. Yes, I was. So you can take this art class, but if you think you're just going to be in school playing, but you need an intellect, so let's go do some art. Come to find out he had a gift. Nobody knew he had a gift. His gift turned into a passion. His passion has now resulted him in being an architect. Now from architecture, he's creating systems. But had I been like, you ain't playing, no, you going to take chemistry and geometry or blah, blah, blah. What is their passion? What fuels them? If they're pinging off the wall and jumping off the steps, put them in a gymnastics class. Take them outside, give them a trampoline. If you can't afford a trampoline, put some rubber bands on the ground and let's create. Ask them how to make a trampoline. Figure it out, but don't kill the gift. What is their purpose? How do you know? Help them to identify it. Self-esteem. You have introverts, you have extroverts, you have kids that are, oh, I'm a talker, y'all can't tell me, I'm a talk. But I have a heart. And sometimes my talking, I sound like I'm fussing. My kids, why are you fussing all the time? Because my passion is just deep. So it sounds like I'm fussing, but I'm compelled for movement. I'm compelled to make sure that whatever success looks like for them, they have an opportunity to taste it. So put those kids around the table. Allow them to be a part of your family. Don't just allow them to exist in a home that you're providing for them. Give them some chores to do, chore charts. Hold them accountable, because what you're now doing is teaching them how to work on somebody's job until they become entrepreneurs of their own. You're teaching them responsibility. You're teaching them qualities. Skylar got a new washing machine and that child can wash her own clothes in the washer and loves to wash. She came to my house, y'all don't wash my clothes and send them home. I got a new washer. I have to go home and wash my clothes. Bad. I put those clothes in the bag so fast, go wash clothes, Skylar. So you're teaching them skill sets. You're teaching them life skills. You're teaching them things they need to know. So when they get married, they can, we were creating menus. Ethan will say, oh yeah, my family we created menus every weekend when I was 4 years old. Honey, you going to go to the spa and get your nails done? I'll do the menu. I got you. I'm cooking. I've been cooking in my kitchen since I was 3. I'll make dinner for you. Skill sets. You're building the foundation from the first day, again, that they look into your eyes. Stay focused on being intentional with what you are doing to your family. And in my closing, maximize every waking breath and moment that you have to make a deposit and to leave a legacy. My mother passed at 59 years old, my best friend. I would have never thought that my mother and I would not be here able to go on trips and get on cruise ships and go on walks at this age. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna raise these kids, and this is how it went. I'm gonna raise my kids, and then me and mom gonna have some time. Y'all better not think like that. Every day you got the opportunity to wake up, you better live it as like you will not wake up tomorrow. Invest in those kids. Invest in yourself. And mama, you know the deal. If mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. You better get somewhere and invest in you. Put you on that schedule. You going to the gym? Do you just need some time to just muse? I do mindfulness, I do centering, I got doTERRA oils, I do all that stuff. But you have to learn to do it with your kids. Take them with you. Don't send them, because they feel you. They know when they matter to you. They know when you're just shoving them to the side. We got into bed the other night and we were going to sleep, and with Skylar, we sleep to spa music, we meditate and we pray, and I have her diffuser on with her oils. So I snuck and I was on Facebook. Now I'm supposed to have quality time with her. And she was like, yeah. Are you on Facebook? I was like, not right now, but I was. So that was her question of asking me because in her head, this is our quality time. This is a time you're supposed to be with me, even if we just going to sleep. I want my time. I put that phone right down. So don't think just because you think they're not paying attention that they're not. They are. They need you. Invest in them. And I promise you, you're going to have world leaders that are going to be right outside fighting for us in this country the way some of them are doing right now. Stay encouraged. I appreciate you for listening. Miriam, thank you for standing on the wall to bring people together from all walks of life for whatever we need to do because we're in this together. Peace and deuces, y'all. You're muted.
Unmute myself. And thank you, Michelle, for the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful words you gave us. We're going to live those words, not just hear them, or we're going to live those words and we're going to put them into action. And so what Michelle has decided to do is on behalf of Motivating Minds, she's going to give out a cash app of $25 to those persons who have been listening and that will send or inbox me a schedule or just tell me something that you've learned from this particular session of Only for You. So just inbox it along with your cash app. And next week, we're going to be giving out that $25 cash app on behalf of Motivating Minds, Michelle Simpson. Again, I want to shout out our people who gave us gifts this week. If you would like to have one of these gifts, it's already in the chat by Annie Roof, who sent out some beautiful artwork to show on the show. And it's in the chat and it's also posted on our Facebook page. So if you would like to have this artwork, contact her. It looks beautiful. Also, shout out to Jennifer Hill, who sent us this book called Anywhere But Here, Innovating, Inspiring Poetry. So we want you to be able to get that as well. Well, last week we had Pamela Reynolds of Reynolds Tasteful Cuisine and Catering, who gave us a $25 cash app for those who cooked with us last week. So we do something every week just for you. So we're going to be picking the winners of those who cooked last week, who sent in their cash app, and we're going to be sending them a cash app today. And so we're going to go in here. Here's a little bag. And this is on behalf of Pamela Reynolds of Reynolds Tasteful Cuisine and Catering. Here we got here. These are people who cooked last week. And the winner of the cash app is none other than Amaya Jones. So let's give Amaya Jones a hand, who will be getting a $25 cash app on today. And then on behalf of our partners of A Sister Heart, they sent in a $25 cash app. They didn't want to be anybody to know who they are, but another $25 cash app on behalf of A Sister's Heart. And this for those who sent their cash app in on last week. So every week you better watch. Every week we're going to be giving something away. So here we go right here from the people from last week. And we're going to pull this out. Make sure everybody gets a chance to get it. And the winner of this one is GD Zane L3. Cash app GD Zane L3 is going to be receiving a $25 cash app today. So hopefully you are watching. And so we want to make sure that you're watching. Don't forget today also, if you heard the show and you got anything out of the show, we want you to please inbox me what you got out of the show along with your cash app, and we will definitely get that to you. But listen to this. Next week, say next week. Next week, we're going to have on the show none other than Dr. T, who's going to be showing us how to wash our face properly so that we can put the makeup on so to look good. So we're going to have good face washing. She's a doctor. She's a cosmetologist. She's also a business owner of 2 salons and a school. So she's going to just show us the correct way to wash our face, because we'll be getting out of here and we can be able to put our makeup back on. Or if you just want to walk around the house and sashay looking good, you can do that. But she's going to show us how to do that. That's on next week. But until next week, I want you to remember this. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love, of power, and of a sound mind. And also remember to be great, live great, and always do great. Until next week, we want to see you on next week, 1 o'clock, same channel, same time, with our special guests who are going to be here. And we cannot wait to see you. So until next week, the Sister's Heart only for you. And remember, women, there's nothing you cannot accomplish with God on your side. And if you have a passion, remember, you can do it. Because remember, one thing I want to say this, and remember this and take it throughout the whole week. Procrastination is not your friend. So don't hold hands with them. Don't hug them. Don't even acknowledge him. Procrastination is not your friend. So thank you and have a great day.